Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Football Friday from VC4 Performance. I'm Coach Bobby Cole. Today we're going to be talking about cornerback Patrick Surtain from the Denver Broncos and looking at two different routes that he covers against two very different receivers and why he's so effective and how you as a younger cornerback can model your game after him and take a couple of these coaching points. So the first video I want to look at is on the left, and this is Patrick Surtain against Chase Claypool. So Chase Claypool at the time was on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's just running a straight fade right here. So when he runs his fade, play this really quick. What Patrick Surtain does very well off the beginning is he plays it smart by not trying to engage with Chase Claypool. So he understands Chase Claypool, very big wide receiver, very strong wide receiver. So if he tries to engage with him right now, he's probably going to lose purely because of a strength and power standpoint. So what he does a good job of is he stays wide in his base and mirrors. So he just simply mirrors and doesn't try to engage, throw his arms in there to get tangled up. He mirrors, and then once Chase Claypool designates, hey, I'm going to start attacking and running down the field, he opens up and is able to turn his hips and get into full speed within 2 steps, which is so important. So when he widens out right here, he does such a good job with this inside foot of turning, pressing off the ball of his foot, sending his power through to throw his body to the other side, and then he does a great job with his right foot of opening up that hip, getting it underneath, and now all of this power in here, he's able to explode off and now be able to match Chase Claypool step for step up the sideline. Now as he follows him up the sideline, he keeps his eyes on him and is watching to see what is he looking for. Is he looking back for the football? And once he stays with him and he's matching him step for step and he sees he's looking for the football 3, 4, 5 steps down the field, this is where he turns and he starts looking for the football. Okay? And what he does a good job of is he puts his hands on Claypool, but he doesn't push him to the sidelines. He simply puts his hands there to know where he is and keep in contact with him as he turns to look for the football, without rerouting him and causing a penalty. Okay, there is a little bit of a pull there, but really the referees aren't going to call that because of Claypool's size. And then right here, because he sees the ball going over his head, he doesn't have a chance to be able to turn and try and catch this right now. So what does he do? He turns, he gets right into Claypool's chest, and he just plays right through the hands. Okay, so he just turns, looks up, and just attacks right at the hands because he knows the ball's coming in right now. He swats at it, causes havoc, and it turns into an incomplete pass. So great job of coverage by him where he doesn't necessarily have help on the outside, and he just does such a good job of not engaging, not trying to overextend himself. He opens his hips up, he runs with him, and then once he gets to the point where he knows the ball is coming, he turns and plays the football rather than trying to make the big play and the big interception. He just turns and says, I'm just going to knock the ball away, and I'm going to win the battle I know I can win by turning and playing through the hands rather than turn and try and basically catch a jump ball over someone who's taller and stronger than me. Okay, so that's one route. Second route here that he's going to cover is against Davante Adams, who Davante Adams is one of the best route runners in the NFL. And essentially he's playing man, but now he's playing off. So he's playing at 10 yards back, and the Broncos were going to be in cover 3 on this play. So he's going to have deep third. So he needs to be able to cover all the way back. So he needs to be able to cover if Davante Adams goes long. So what Davante does a great job of is he comes off and he just starts running down the field, long strides, and then he does a burst. So that's where Pat Surtain does a really good job of. He starts to backpedal. All right, he zone turns. So zone turns means he gets his eyes inside at the quarterback and turns in there. Okay, so he can see the rest of the play developing, but he can feel right now that Davante does that little giddy up, and once he feels that giddy up, he starts opening up to run full speed with him. But by him watching the quarterback, he must have seen something in Derek Carr where he starts looking at Davante, he starts setting up to throw, and if you watch the step for step that he matches to be able to turn, so he's running with his hips going down the field to be able to maintain speed and keep up with Davante. He's now able to flip his hips and slow himself down in the same amount of steps that Davante does. So we go 1, 2, 3, and they're both stopped at the same position and they're turning around. And if you see right here, they're both extremely low. They both broke themselves down. They threw their shoulders down. They threw their hips down to decelerate as fast as possible. For Pat Surtain to be able to do that out of a back pedal is incredible because he has to react to what the quarterback and the receiver are doing. Davante Adams knows exactly where he's running. So not to take anything away from him, but he knows when he needs to break and where he has to break. For Surtain to be able to break down like this on a dime and be able to match Davante step for step is incredible. It speaks to his footwork and it speaks to his practice. And now by him being able to turn around, he stays right with him, reaches in, and is able to easily knock away the football. So just an incredible job by him, incredible footwork. And for any DB, you need to be able to backpedal like this, where you're going to stay in a really good position, a powerful position, and be able to have fluid hips to be able to run backwards, open up, turn and run, but you have to be able to stay in this low position the entire time. So many cornerbacks you see, whether it's the younger level, college, NFL, some of these guys, what ends up happening is they stand up so tall, and when you stand up so tall, you're going to have a tough time being able to stop on a dime and break like this. The other thing is you have to be violent with actively trying to slow yourself down and turn around. So many guys, they try to take 5, 6, 7 steps and think that that's going to be quicker, where it's not. You're going to be better off being violent with your hips, violent with your chest, throwing everything down towards the ground and using your muscles in your legs and your lower half to slow you down. That's going to give you the best chance. Number one, safety for all of the tendons and ligaments in your lower half, but also just for your body in general. That's going to be the best way to do it. Not trying to stand up tall and take 7, 8, 9 steps. It's going to be actively using the muscles to break everything down and using your body force to do that. So that's what Surtain does a really good job of. So 2 very good examples here. We have one where it's more of the brains and the smart, covering Chase Claypool, and the other one is more of a footwork and a technique of being able to break down and be able to cover someone who's one of the best route runners in the NFL. Appreciate you guys checking in. If you have comments or other players you'd like to see breakdowns of or to understand why they're so good, please comment below. Hit the subscribe button so you guys can get this every single week. And just keep checking in, guys. We're going to do someone different every week so we can cover every position and really give you guys younger players, at the youth level, at the high school level, at the college level, just some ideas of some guys to model your game after, but also why are we modeling our game after them, and so you can understand. And then when you watch the game of football, you can pick up on some of these things as the games are going on in front of you.